With the summer of symbiotes coming to a close, Marvel has given us all kinds of new Clint art to appreciate. My name is AJ Spatola with Top 10 Nerd, and these are the top 10 symbiotes you've never seen before, part 2. At number 10 is Kid Venom. Kid Venom is the newest addition to the symbiote roster, making their debut in Marvel's Unaliving of the Venomverse limited series, and with his upcoming origin story set to release early 2024. This unique character was created by the talented manga artist Taigami, also known for Unsung Hero. Kid Venom's origin story takes us back to 10th century Japan, where a brave warrior named Kintaro is determined to protect his village from the mysterious symbiote attacks. But here's where it gets a twist. To defend his people, he bonds with the symbiote himself, known as Clinter, becoming the sensational Kid Venom. Sorry, I'm at the very top. Now with incredible powers and wild abilities, Kid Venom faces off against the ferocious Carnage. The clash between these two symbiote powerhouses promises to be an action-packed showdown in the page Unaliving of the Venomverse. At number 9 is Hybrid. Now, not the usual hybrid we're used to, but this one is the hybrid symbiote in conjunction with the Maker. So if you're unaware, in the world of Marvel Comics, the symbiotes have always been a source of intrigue and danger, but the Maker hybrid takes things to a whole new level. Imagine combining the twisted genius of Reed Richards from the Ultimate Marvel Universe, where he's evil, with the powers of not one, but 4 Life Foundation symbiotes. We got Riot, Phage, Lasher, and Agony. And that's what we get with the Maker hybrid. See, the Maker is known for his sinister intellect, and he's already a formidable villain on his own. But when you add the symbiotes into the mix, you get a nightmarish creature with the elasticity and brain power of Mr. Fantastic and the ferocity of the Carnage. It's not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man villain. He's a menacing force that poses a threat even greater than the Carnage himself. This all came to be when Cletus Cassidy's chaotic plan threatened those who've bonded with the symbiotes. And so Peter Park and Eddie Brock sought an unlikely ally, the sinister Reed Richards from the Ultimate Marvel Universe, also known as the Maker, in a bid to create a machine capable of safely extracting the symbiote codex from previous hosts. However, evil Reed wanted to test the thing out on Dylan against his will, and the dude wasn't having it, releasing the Life Foundation symbiotes, leading to the birth of the monstrous new hybrid. If you're enjoying the video so far, you can support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Top 10 Nerd, and ringing that notification bell. At number 8 is Madness. The Madness symbiote is a fusion of the hybrid symbiote we just talked about, plus Scream and Toxin, minus the Maker. Madness is made up of the Life Foundation symbiotes in a new mix and match form unlike any other. So the story goes that when a group of billionaires attempted to create a new society, they acquired the 5 symbiotes to guard it: Agony, Phage, Riot, Lasher, and Scream. Additionally, a strain of the Toxin symbiote was also held by Alchemex, along with a bunch of other symbiotes, but they're not important for the story. Thus begins Madness's origin story, as all 6 of these symbiotes were stolen, merged together, and bonded to Corwin Jones to form Madness. From the acid-fleeing Agony to Lasher's ability to possess multiple beings at once with its organic lashes, the art shows of how the multicolored symbiote retains the differing personalities of its constituent parts. But when Madness was ultimately defeated by Misery, aka Liz Allen, who, if you haven't heard of, definitely stick around, the Madness symbiote was recovered and bonded to a brain-dead human cyborg by the Life Foundation to create an obedient super soldier, giving us the Symbiotex Madness offshoot. This host was later unalived by Spider-Man, leaving the symbiote strain to be secured once again by Alchemax. At number 7 is Sleeper. Meet Sleeper, the 7th spawn of the infamous Venom symbiote. Sleeper's origin story is a tad bit different from the brain-hungry Clintar you might be familiar with. Concerned that early bonding might turn it into a monster like the other symbiotes, Venom and Eddie Brock decided to let Alchemex study it non-invasively. Despite its youth, Sleeper has got quite the personality. A bit smug, to be honest. It boasts about its superiority thanks to its nurturous upbringing, and has a soft spot for Dr. Stevens' music taste. But don't get on its bad side, because it's quick to anger and fiercely protective of its parent. Sleeper's not just a pretty face, though. He wields chemokinesis, the power to manipulate chemicals, induce emotions, and all the other symbiote powers, including cloaking itself. It's a hero in its own right, looking out for Eddie's son Dylan and going to great lengths to protect him. At number 6 is the Scorpion Symbiote that we've all been waiting for. This slimy character made his debut when Lee Price infected Mac Gargan, who was already no stranger to symbiotes thanks to his time as Venom. Price's experience merged the remnants of the Venom symbiote with Gargan with a piece of his own Maniac symbiote, giving birth to a green and black Scorpion symbiote that mirrored Gargan's iconic Scorpion armor look. Under its influence, Gargan went from literally trembling in fear to embracing the power he craved. This new symbiote was one tough cookie, taking on Spider-Man and Agent Anti-Venom in a showdown. However, it met its doom in a rematch against Agent Anti-Venom, leaving Gargan symbiote-less, but not defeated. The legacy of the Scorpion symbiote doesn't end there, though. Gargan's obsession with symbiotes led him on a wild ride. He even went as far as to become the soldier for the Anti-Symbiote Task Force, all in the hopes of bonding with a Venom symbiote once more. But the universe had other plans. Dark Carnage came to town, leaving Gargan paralyzed, and yet he somehow managed to snag yet another Scorpion suit. What's truly fascinating here is the impact on Gargan's personality. The symbiote didn't have a voice, but it awakened something deep within him, making him succumb to his addiction to symbiote power. At number 5 is Madame Venom. In Extreme Venomverse number 3, we're introduced to Madame Brock from Earth 31913, a symbiote variant that's an absolute game changer. She seamlessly blends classic Venom traits with fresh ideas and a touch of Madame Web's mystique, offering a unique take on the character. We also get to talk about Webslinger here, a cowboy Spider-Man from the same reality. After a chance encounter in a small town, he befriends Edna Brock, aka Madame Venom. She's not your average Venom variant. With her whip as her weapon, she embraces the lethal protector ideology, adding a new layer to the character. Madame Brock's design is a fusion of Venom's monstrous appearance with a classical western twist with that black veil of hers, making her a visual standout. But the most exciting part is Madame Brock's connection to the web of life and destiny, which could make her a key player in multiverse level events. This new Venom variant is a breath of fresh air and one of the most intriguing additions to the Marvel Universe. At number 4 is Black Cat Venom. This version of Felicia Hardy has the same history as her 616 counterpart, up until Spidey decides to get his black suit checked out by Reed at the Baxter Building. But in this reality, Black Cat, being the stealthy cat burglar she is, tails him and sneaks into the place. Now the twist is that she takes a look at the alien symbiote costume and thinks about her rocky relationship with Spidey. And as it turns out, she realizes that it was the symbiote trying to keep her around, not Peter. See, her and Venom have something in common, as they both love a guy who doesn't quite get them. Faced with this revelation, Felicia decided to cut the creature some slack. She released it, and bam, the symbiote immediately latched onto her like a kid to candy. Mr. Fantastic, the Human Torch, and Bagman stormed in, yes, Bagman, because Peter's not in his costume, believing the symbiote had possessed Felicia. Spider-Man did his thing and trapped them in a fiery cage. Tensions rose, but then Reed Richards, the smart guy, had a trick up his sleeve. He zapped the symbiote with a supposed sonic gun, but it was really just a mood checker. As it turns out, the symbiote was all good with Felicia, and they swung off into the sunset, an unlikely duo. At number 3 is Misery. Misery was born from the twisted minds over at Alchemix. See, they were trying to create the ultimate symbiote, mixing and matching different strains, but the Carnage symbiote they got their hands on wasn't playing nice with the others. It was a real loner. So enter Dr. Steven and Liz Allen, who decided to get creative. They exposed a bit of the Carnage symbiote to the anti-venom serum, hoping for a breakthrough. But things took a turn when Liz herself got tangled up in this symbiote business. Now, Liz got some new tricks up her sleeves, like an insane healing factor and the ability to go liquid-like, along with the fact that she looks absolutely terrifying. At number 2 is Father Brock. In this universe, Eddie Brock was a priest of the Roman Catholic Church and an associate of John Deward, a mob enforcer and loan shark who was after Eddie on account of his gambling addiction, leading to substantial loans from the mob. Eddie even stole from the church in order to pay back his debt, but he gambled that away too. Faced with inevitable confrontation from the mob and looming guilt from stealing from his church, Eddie prayed for forgiveness, and that's when he encountered the Venom symbiote. His chance encounter with the symbiote unleashed a darker side, leading to the gruesome fate of the mob guy John Deward as he was devoured by the Sin Eater Venom. But this Venom is just as cunning as he is animalistic, framing the schizophrenic Emil Gregg to throw the police off his trail. And at number 1 is Eddie Brock's Spider-Man. In this alternate universe, Eddie Brock's life takes a turn when Peter Parker met his demise while trying to ditch the black symbiote suit. Feeling guilty for indirectly causing Peter's demise, the symbiote seeks a new host in Eddie. But it's not a seamless transition. The symbiote pretty much hijacks Eddie's body, only allowing him to speak and move while keeping a tight leash on his thoughts. Things get interesting when Dr. Octavius rolls into town. During the brawl against this new Spider-Man, Ock discovers the symbiote's weakness, which is loud noises. This temporarily separates Eddie and the alien suit. Ock, thinking that he's got the upper hand, decides to off Eddie, but that's when our man Eddie decides for himself that he wants to continue being a hero, even if it's under the symbiote's influence. As he tosses a brick at Ock and reunites with the symbiote, they find a new harmony, working seamlessly to defeat Ock as the new Spider-Man. But just when they thought it was all settled, a new female Agent Venom shows up, begging them into a mysterious portal. Just gonna have to read the comics to find out more. As always, if there's an unheard of symbiote that I've missed here today, feel free to let me know down in the comments. This has been AJ with Top 10 Nerd, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later, nerds.